The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, January 2nd, 2025, include information on Nick's emergency situation, Mariah's past, and Sharon's kidnapping. Fans might anticipate that following Tessa Porter's, Kate Fairbanks', drugging of Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, Jordan, Colleen Zank will whisk her away in the upcoming episode. Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, meantime, battles recollections of her past. Joshua Morrow's character Nick Newman discovers something startling. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Spoilers for The Young and the Restless, a programming note. According to YNR Spoilers, Tuesday, December 31st, and Wednesday, January 1st, 2025, will not include any new episodes. Enjoy the new year, and on Thursday, January 2nd, 2025, a new episode will premiere. YNR Spoilers, The Awakening of Sharon Newman. Jordan will chloroform Sharon and take her away on Thursday, January 2nd. Sharon was excited to spend New Year's Eve at Society with her family. Sharon even felt at ease enough to go out in public. But Jordan knew exactly when and where Sharon would be. I recently wrote about Jordan and Ian Ward's, Ray Wise, possibility that the enigmatic angel ornament Sharon couldn't recall could be a glitch. That still seems plausible to me, and that would account for Jordan and Ian's knowledge of Sharon's intention to be Society just before midnight. After all, Sharon's attendance was a last-minute choice rather than one that was planned. How else could Jordan and Ian have known Sharon's precise location? Spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Mariah Copeland's history. Mariah will be plagued by her past, according to Thursday, January 2nd spoilers for The Young and the Restless. Mariah will obviously be horrified to witness an unwell Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, in Ian's arms. Mariah can't just pick Tessa up and flee. Mariah may, however, be immobilized by dread and powerless to act. The stakes are higher now that Mariah has a wife and a daughter of her own, and her time with Ian was incredibly traumatic. January 2nd, Thursday. Fans can also anticipate Nick making an unexpected discovery on Thursday, January 2nd. Nick will discover that Sharon never showed up when all the applauding and toasts have subsided. But will Sharon's automobile still be there when Nick leaves for the parking lot? Nick might discover Sharon's keys on the ground near her SUV. That would undoubtedly suggest that Sharon experienced some sort of incident. Sharon's kidnapping, a desperate search. Salem was plunged into turmoil when Sharon Newman, known for her strength and resilience, disappeared without a trace. What began as an ordinary evening turned into a community's worst nightmare. Sharon was last seen leaving Crimson Lights after meeting with her daughter, Faith, for a quick coffee. As she made her way home, the unthinkable happened. Hours later, Ray Rosales, Sharon's husband, found a chilling ransom note demanding an exorbitant sum of money and warning against involving the authorities. The gravity of the situation left Ray torn between keeping Sharon safe and seeking reinforcements. A community unites. Ray's anguish was palpable as he confided in Sharon's ex-husbands, Nick and Adam Newman. Despite their contentious history, the two men set aside their rivalry to aid in the desperate search for Sharon. Their alliance was uneasy but necessary, highlighting the intricate web of relationships within the Newman family. As the trio delved into Sharon's recent activities, they uncovered a potential lead. Sharon's work advocating for domestic abuse survivors had attracted both admiration and animosity. Could her abduction be the result of her activism, or was it a more personal vendetta? Meanwhile, the Newman family, Victor, Nikki, and Victoria, rallied together, leveraging their influence and resources to aid in the investigation. Each member played a crucial role, from Victor's strategic planning to Nikki's unwavering support for her family. As the days stretched into an agonizing week, the search intensified, fueled by a collective determination to bring Sharon home. Sharon's ordeal. In captivity, Sharon displayed remarkable resilience. Her captor, a shadowy figure consumed by a tragic backstory, revealed snippets of their motivations. They blamed Sharon for a loved one's downfall, a misconception rooted in past events. Despite the dire circumstances, Sharon's empathy and strength began to break through her captor's hostility. She devised subtle methods to signal her location, hoping her loved ones would decipher her clues in time. Mariah's past resurfaces. While the search for Sharon unfolded, Mariah Copeland faced a storm of her own. Ian Ward, a manipulative cult leader from Sharon's past, re-emerged, threatening to upend Mariah's life. Ian's presence dredged up painful memories of the time Mariah spent under his control, straining her relationship with her fiancé, Tessa. Despite her fears, Mariah confronted Ian, determined to break free from his lingering influence. Adding to the turmoil was a shocking revelation. A private investigator hired by Nick discovered evidence suggesting Ian orchestrated a secret adoption decades ago. This discovery hinted that Mariah might have a long-lost sibling, another victim of Ian's schemes. Grappling with these revelations, Mariah found strength in her loved ones and resolved to reclaim her narrative. Her journey of healing and self-discovery became a source of inspiration for others, including Sharon, who drew courage from Mariah's example. Nick's brush with death. Amid the chaos, Nick Newman faced a life-threatening crisis. While investigating a lead, he was pursued by a mysterious vehicle, resulting in a catastrophic car accident. His car was left teetering on the edge of a ravine, and Nick's fate hung in the balance. News of the accident sent shockwaves through Salem, with Victor and Nikki rallying to his side. Phyllis, Nick's former partner, grappled with guilt, suspecting her recent dealings with a dangerous associate might have endangered him. Nick's rescue was a race against time, led by Nikki and Faith. Despite his injuries, Nick's determination to find Sharon remained unshaken. Forensics later revealed that his car had been tampered with, pointing to foul play. This revelation deepened the mystery, suggesting a larger conspiracy targeting the Newman family. Clues and connections. As the investigation progressed, Mariah uncovered a vital clue. Ian Ward's cryptic messages hinted at a location tied to both Sharon's abduction and Ian's past operations. With help from Tessa and Kevin Fisher, Mariah pieced together the puzzle, identifying a remote warehouse on the outskirts of Salem as Sharon's potential location. Ray, Nick, and Adam joined forces for the rescue mission, their personal differences set aside for the greater good. Sharon's subtle signals, combined with Mariah's findings, provided the breakthrough they needed. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation. The climactic rescue. The rescue operation was fraught with tension. Sharon's captor, cornered and desperate, revealed the depth of their vendetta before finally surrendering. The revelation of their identity and motivations left the Newman family reeling, forcing them to confront the consequences of past actions and misunderstandings. Sharon's liberation was met with relief and celebration, but the ordeal left scars. The experience deepened the bonds within the Newman family and reinforced the importance of their resilience and unity. Aftermath and reflection. In the wake of the rescue, the residents of Salem grappled with the aftermath of their ordeal. Mariah's bravery in confronting Ian and uncovering her past earned her newfound confidence and strengthened her relationship with Tessa. Sharon's resilience inspired those around her, reaffirming her role as a cornerstone of the community. Nick's near-death experience reignited his protective instincts and commitment to his family. Victor and Nikki took steps to safeguard their loved ones, vowing to prevent such tragedies in the future. As the Newman family healed, they emerged stronger, united by their shared trials and triumphs. The events surrounding Sharon's kidnapping served as a stark reminder of the strength of the human spirit and the power of love and unity. In the face of adversity, the people of Salem proved that together, they could overcome even the darkest of times. Sharon kidnapped, Mariah's past, and Nick's emergency situation, a web of drama. In the world of Genoa City, few events send shockwaves through the tight-knit community like Sharon Newman's sudden disappearance. It's a tale rife with suspense, family bonds, and shocking revelations, bringing together elements of Sharon's kidnapping, Mariah's troubled past, and Nick's desperate scramble to manage an emergency. These interconnected stories unravel in dramatic fashion, leaving no one untouched by the fallout. Sharon's kidnapping, a shocking turn of events. Sharon Newman's abduction was as unexpected as it was terrifying. She had always been a pillar in Genoa City, a woman who had weathered countless storms. But this time, she wasn't just fighting for her sanity or reputation, she was fighting for her life. It all began on an ordinary day. Sharon was heading to Crimson Lights to oversee the day's operations, her thoughts preoccupied with Noah and Faith's upcoming visit. As she stepped into her car, a masked figure appeared out of nowhere. Before she could react, a cloth soaked in chloroform was pressed against her face. Everything went dark. When Sharon awoke, she found herself in a dimly lit room, hands bound and surrounded by the eerie silence of her unknown captors. Her mind raced. Who could have done this, and why? Was it linked to her past, or was this something new? Meanwhile, Genoa City was in turmoil. Ray Rosales, Sharon's estranged husband and a seasoned detective, took the lead in the investigation. Ray's determination to find Sharon was fueled by lingering feelings for her, despite their complicated history. He combed through every clue, from surveillance footage to phone records, but the trail was maddeningly cold. Mariah's past comes back to haunt her. Mariah Copeland, Sharon's fiercely loyal daughter, was devastated by her mother's disappearance. But as she dove into the search, her own past began to resurface, casting a shadow over her efforts. Years ago, Mariah had been manipulated by the notorious Ian Ward, a cult leader who exploited her vulnerability and used her as a pawn in his schemes. Though she had since built a life of her own, the trauma lingered. When Sharon's kidnapping hit the news, Mariah's fears reignited. Could Ian Ward be involved? Mariah's anxiety was compounded by cryptic messages she began receiving. At first, she dismissed them as coincidence, a random prank by a stranger. But as the messages grew more specific, mentioning details only Ian or someone close to him could know, she realized she was being targeted. One message read, "You can't escape your past, Mariah. It's time to pay the price." Determined not to let her history derail her, Mariah confronted her fears head-on. She visited Tessa, her wife, and confided her suspicions. Together, they pieced together fragments of Mariah's past interactions with Ian, hoping to find a clue that could connect him to Sharon's kidnapping. Nick's emergency situation, a father's worst nightmare. Nick Newman, Sharon's ex-husband and father of her children, was blindsided by another crisis as Sharon's kidnapping unfolded. One of his construction sites suffered a catastrophic collapse, trapping several workers, including his close friend and business associate, Adam Wilson. The site's collapse sent Nick into a whirlwind of chaos. Emergency responders worked tirelessly to rescue those trapped beneath the rubble, but the situation grew increasingly dire. Nick, a man who prided himself on being able to fix anything, felt utterly helpless. His conflicting priorities, finding Sharon and dealing with the fallout from the collapse, stretched him to the breaking point. Adding to the tension was his son, Noah, who arrived in Genoa City just as the crisis erupted. Seeing his father unravel was a sobering experience for Noah, who had always viewed Nick as a rock-solid figure. Their relationship, already strained by past disagreements, reached a boiling point as Noah accused Nick of neglecting Sharon's plight in favor of his business obligations. Intersecting timelines and clues. As days turned into weeks, Sharon's captors sent a chilling video to her family and friends. In it, Sharon appeared pale but defiant, pleading for their help while ominously warning them not to involve the authorities. The video's backdrop, a rustic cabin surrounded by dense woods, sparked a memory in Mariah. It resembled a location Ian Ward had used during his cult's activities. Ray's investigation gained momentum with this new lead. He worked closely with Mariah, who provided insights into Ian's habits and known associates. Meanwhile, Tessa's connections in the music industry led to a breakthrough. One of her former collaborators mentioned seeing a man matching Ian's description near the outskirts of Genoa City. Nick, despite his own turmoil, threw his resources into the search for Sharon. He hired private investigators and used his Newman Enterprises influence to pressure local authorities for additional support. The construction site's collapse, though devastating, had inadvertently created alliances with influential figures who offered their assistance. The dramatic rescue. The breakthrough came when Ray, Mariah, and Nick's investigators triangulated Sharon's location to an abandoned property on the city's outskirts. A tense rescue operation unfolded, with law enforcement cautiously approaching the site to avoid endangering Sharon. Inside the cabin, Sharon faced her captors with remarkable resilience. Her strength came from knowing her family was fighting for her. When the rescue team burst in, Sharon's relief was palpable, but the ordeal left her visibly shaken. Ian Ward was apprehended during the raid, confirming Mariah's suspicions. His motive, a twisted attempt to draw Mariah back into his sphere of influence, sent chills through everyone involved. For Sharon, the kidnapping was a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in Genoa City, but it also reinforced her determination to reclaim her life.